Look. I know it's been a little over a month since Corey Kenshin put MonsterWeMake out, and I am super late to this video, but I got preoccupied by some other things. So, sorry, but with that being said, let's start the video. Hello, YouTube. You guys probably don't know this about me, but Corey Kenshin is my favorite YouTuber of all time. I've been watching him for a little under a decade now, and once I heard he was releasing MonsterWeMake, which is a Americanized manga, I got super excited and I finally got around to finishing it. Now, I know you guys might say in the comments, you're going to be biased because he's your favorite YouTuber of all time. Which, no, because I read this 2 times and I came out with the exact same mindset. I wasn't going into this highly, but I wasn't going into this poorly. I'm gonna also give this the benefit of the doubt, because this is the first volume, you know, setting up all the characters, the setting, and what's to come next. And also, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt because it's his first manga. There are huge flaws, and a big one that if it keeps occurring, I might stop reading. But again, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt because it is his first manga, you know, he's dipping his toes in the water. Also, I'm not going to go super into detail, but spoilers ahead if you have not read it yet. But with that being said, let's dive in. First, I want to give a quick synopsis of the story so you guys have a better idea of what I'm talking about if you have not read MonsterWeMake yet. The story's main focus is 17-year-old Jabari Booker. It's 2114 in New Eden City, a cyberpunk-esque city. He joins New Eden Academy thinking it's a place where he can work and become better at, you know, daily high school life, grades, fitness, all that stuff. And when he walks in for this first time, it seems like a pretty normal high school, but things quickly turn around. Jabari soon finds out that the academy isn't just about learning or perfecting his skills. It's actually preparing students for something far more dangerous. The academy was created to train kids who have powers born during the eternal night to fight against monsters. These monsters aren't just random creatures either. They used to be regular people, but then turned into human-eating creatures. This is the basic plot of the story, but I truly think they execute this very well, showing us off the bat that these monsters are truly a threat to this city. And they also give us the main cast and who we should keep our eye on for later in the story. Again, I won't go too into detail, but one of these characters is someone who we're going to need to learn more about throughout the next volumes. So execution-wise, I think this manga does it perfectly well, but everything starts to take a huge dip after that. Next, I do want to discuss the characters because I believe they're one of the most important or the most important aspects of storytelling. And in this case, for MonsterWeMake, I feel like every single one comes off as one note. Jabari, for instance, is your most typical, bland protagonist ever. He screams a lot, has an ego as big as the moon, and wields a godlike one-shot ability. Kind of godlike one-shot ability that is like in every other freaking anime character. Then there's Liam, the rival and emo Drogadus, and just like most Drogadus, we know jack fuck about him. And my personal favorite trope is the hot-headed character who's consistently mad at everyone and everything. And in this story, that role belongs to Ali. And the best part about her, she has mommy issues. Of course, there's also the protagonist's love interest, who so far seems to do absolutely shit or nothing at all. And the obligatory tech whiz, like in every American movie. This is only the first volume though, so I am kind of excited to see what they do with these characters, and I'm very excited for Ali, and not for the reasons you're thinking. I mean, they can go really into her character and why she has problems with her mom. And obviously, we know nothing about the Drogadus, so I would love to learn more about him. He seems like a extremely important character, and You know, he might be Sasuke. He might be good. He might be bad. He might go back to good. We just have to wait and see. Finally, I want to discuss the art of the manga. And in my opinion, the biggest flaw of Monsters We Make. And to be completely honest, the art style is actually quite good. Now, I know you guys might be scratching your head saying, you just said it's the biggest flaw, now you're saying it's good. Like, what are you talking about? Keep your hands out of your pants and let me explain. In some parts, particularly the horror scenes and full panel shots, I think are very well done. And some other regular shots, I think are pretty well done too. However, when I looked closer, the art style started to remind me of another manga, My Hero Academia, especially its later chapters. Not completely, but I can kind of see a little bit of a resemblance. There was even one panel in particular that felt oddly similar to a panel from My Hero Academia. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not an artist and I never want to be an artist. I've tried and I will never succeed. So I could be completely wrong here. And if you are an artist, please comment down below if I'm right or not, because I truly want to be proven wrong here. But take a look at this panel from Monsters We Make and now compare it to this one from My Hero Academia. When I put this side by side, the resemblance is stupidly striking. Sure, there are differences like the clothes, hair, and accessories, but overall, the structure of the two panels are so similar. That said, I'm not about to raise my fist and shout, Monsters We Make is just copying My Hero Academia. For one, it's really the only panel where I'm kind of bitching about it, and they're not super identical. And two, I understand how easy it is to reference something without outright copying it. Still, I do think the artist may have been referencing or tracing that particular drawing. I could be right or I could be wrong. I'm praying that I'm wrong. My concern is that the artists keep doing that, keep referencing panels from other manga. They might eventually cross the line and start integrating those influences into their work without giving it their own twist. While, again, let me preference this, I am not an artist. I understand how time consuming it is to create art at this caliber. But, I mean, other than that, overall the art is really good, even for Corey's first manga. Now, with all this being said, will I drop the manga entirely because of these flaws and go back to reading Solo Leveling? No. I'm gonna go back to reading Solo Leveling, but no, I'm not gonna drop it. I still think there are good aspects about the Monsters We Make manga. At the same time, there is that huge major flaw that I have, but again, I still think this is a good read. And I came out of this thinking this would be pretty good for people who are getting into manga or getting into anime. Now, is there other manga / anime I would suggest for other people over this? Yeah, absolutely. But I still think with everything here, it's a super easy read to get into without thinking too hard. And it hooks you in pretty early into the volume. Now, my rating for the manga, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And I will probably not be discussing any later volumes until the final one or until some huge big controversy happens with the manga. Now, thank y'all for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe because all of this is free of charge. And yeah, that being said, noches.